know that Catherine was going to be busy this evening, so I'm running the back office as well as the front of house here. So welcome everyone. Thank you for joining our session. So we'll have this little bird that, or maybe several birds that you will listen to in the background. It's all about Thanksgiving to ourselves, to each other, to all living beings, and to the planet itself. It's a very special time this year, Thanksgiving 2020. You know, energetically, spiritually, it is a moment to savor, it's a moment to remember, it's a moment to anchor, because this is the day that you anchor grace within you. And if you were there yesterday with us on Beyond Meditation, we went on that beautiful journey to get into the flow, into flowing flow, reconnecting to the child within us. And that was an access point to anchoring ourselves as grace. Today, my focus is on something that I shared in Beyond Meditation. So those of you who are not on it might not have seen it. It's a body of work that came through quite some time ago, and it was all about, it really began with peace. You know, this whole idea of peace. You know, loved the notion of it, loved the idea that, you know, there could be an end to all forms of conflict and we could have peace. And yet, you know, the more the more NGOs were being created, the more people that were going for peace, there were more conflicts at all levels in different parts of the world. It wasn't just about, you know, the Cold War as it used to be. There were communities, there were neighbors, there were cultures, all sorts of conflicts were propagating. And that got me to really go for asking the question, what is the key to peace? What is the key to peace? And this was in 2012. And we were coming up to what was termed as the end of the world. Remember, the 21st of December 2012 was supposed to be the end of the world as we know it. And it was definitely an end of a very important energetic phase. And it was on the 18th of December 2021 that I was asked to go into a 3 days of silence. And it was like, you're going to get your key this time, the key that you've been looking for. And in that period of silence, I received that gratitude is the key to peace. When there is gratitude, you know, there is peace. Peace is a consequence. You don't do peace. You don't, you know, it's an end result. So any action, I mean, this is a very important piece to understand. When something is a consequence, then the action is not that. The action is something else that results in that consequence automatically. So if peace is the consequence, what's the action that I am to take that results in it? And that's the key. So the key to peace is gratitude. So in this Thanksgiving, here we are in the middle of the 10 Commandments. And we are coming up to the 10th commandment. And I'm going to talk about the 10th commandment next week. Today, literally, it's amazing that Thanksgiving comes on the day that we would have talked about the 10th commandment. And it is such a foundational piece that we are talking about today, which is gratitude, which is the key to peace. I just want to say a little bit more about the consequence, and I do want to spend most of today, you know, really giving the personal transmission to each and every one of you. So I'm going to say this and just reiterate the 10 commandments of gratitude. Now, when something is a consequence, like peace is a consequence. To experience that consequence, gratitude is the action you take. Similarly, happiness is a consequence. And it's, happiness is actually a decision and the end and a consequence as well. So similarly, you don't take action, you don't do happiness. You do what gives you joy, and happiness is the result of that. So when you start doing happiness, you bring so much heaviness to it. And it takes you away from happiness. And suddenly you become very attached to what you're doing that might have given you a sliver of happiness. Similarly with peace, when we start doing peace, we constantly reminding ourselves why we need to have that peace. So what are we giving energy to? Not peace. We're giving energy to that which has generated the need to desire peace in the first place. So that is what was keeping conflict in place. And given that the universe is our server and works with us in its own unique and a clear modus operandi of applying a multiplier effect to whatever it is that we are vibrating, when we are vibrating, giving greater energy to keeping that which gives rise to the desire for peace, we get more of that which gives rise to the desire for peace, so more conflict. And it literally had catapulted to such a crazy level that it called for a complete lockdown and shutdown across the world. So we could have this space. And remember, those of you who were there, and I know Nancy and Ellen, you were there last year when I talked about 2020 as a year. We didn't know that it was going to turn out and something that you can only see under a microscope was going to play an important role then. But it literally, the extended period of lockdown and social distancing is really about us getting back into ourselves. And you can go, by having that extended time, we've gone through a cycle. We've gone through a cycle of feeling, afraid, feeling upset, feeling anxious, then coming to a space of, okay, this is not going away, coming to some sort of a resolution around it. We literally have found ways of experiencing gratitude, where we have become aware of, many humans are starting to do that, where they started noticing all the various people, various things, various aspects within themselves that have contributed to the goodness in their life. And that has been the key to people finding peace within this time of turmoil, within this time where unknown is the known, uncertainty is certain. So my guidance and my invitation to everyone here is, let us, we are our Beyond Meditator family, let each one of us become gratitude hunters. Let's take on this Thanksgiving as a way of, boosting what's within us so that we become this vibrant, vital hunter of gratitude in anything and everything that we are presented with. It is showtime. It is time to show up. That's what it means. And it is time to show up in grace. The moment you're in grace, gratitude just comes flooding in. I'm witnessing the rising sun and that beautiful golden column of light of the sun. So much gratitude. So become a gratitude hunter instead. And peace is the consequence. If we are to have a rally, let's have a gratitude rally. You know, where people around the world gather, sharing and expressing what they're grateful for. And I want each one of you to receive this invitation that I have. I invite each one of you to share at least 10 things that you can be grateful for for 2020. What can you be grateful for? Choose at least 10 and more if you have more. I want us to get to the end of 2020 anchoring the amazing miracle that it is. We've already crossed the threshold, so we already are. I mean, it took the longest time, and normally I know what the energies of the year that is about to come are around June, July time. This time it's only come through now, which is a good news that it's happening and it's flowing in flow. The strongest part of 2020 is yet to come. And that strongest part is really going to land in wherever we are at. The strongest part is going to land wherever we are at. So if you're in the space if you're in grace and, being this gratitude hunter, the strongest part is just going to flood you like a hurricane of so many things that you can be grateful for, and you will remain in your center, anchored, grounded in ease, joy, and grace. And if you're in any other space, then that's where the strongest element of 2020 will take you, to the crescendo of that space. So if you're anxious, you get to the crescendo of anguish. If you're in a space of grace, it takes you to the crescendo of this complete bliss and peace. My ex-partner, who Mary, and many of you know about him, if you read my book, he's just going through a very difficult patch health-wise. Like really severely difficult. And he's got a cancer, and it's not recovering, and radiotherapy and chemotherapy are not working, and he's just losing more and more weight. He's very fragile. And what has happened is that he has got such a vibrancy to live and be alive. So for those moments that he's got his compass mentis, he is vibrant, he's alive, he's funny, he's intelligent. And when I was talking to him, he said to me, the doctors are saying I have 6 months to live, and 4 months are already up. I don't feel that way. I really don't feel that way. I don't want to die. I don't feel that way. But maybe it's useful for you to tell me, what is death? What happens when someone dies? And I just shared with him, it's that moment, in that moment, there are times in our life where we get that experience of bliss. Like for no reason, it's just like, we are lit up and we have that experience of bliss. And then it goes away. And when you have that change of state from life to death, I said to him, Phil, you experience that and it never goes away. You're in that space of bliss. And you're at complete peace. The rest in peace is not for the soul that is departed. The rest in peace really is for those that have remained, so they can rest in peace and come to terms with it in the passing of this person. And I became very aware, even as I was discussing this with him, that we can experience that bliss, that inner peace, simply by following these 10 commandments for gratitude. It foundations you on a space of gratitude. And really, this is what we are doing today. Thank you all. I know it is Thanksgiving dinner time, and you are all here. Thank you all for, as we come together in our own holographic presences, we spread the vibe of whatever it is that we are discussing here, far and wide as our holographic connections go. And what that means is your entire field is filled with the vibe of gratitude. So I'm just going to go ahead and reiterate the 10 commandments of gratitude. The first one is, peace is the consequence. Gratitude is the key to peace, is the first commandment of gratitude. Just knowing it is the key to peace. Peace is a consequence. You don't have to worry about peace as long as you do gratitude. 2, fill your presence with gratitude, and peace is the consequence. How do you fill your presence with gratitude? You give yourself the present that you have been waiting for, and it is presencing your presence. Now, if you have just declared that I fill my presence with gratitude, when you give yourself the present of presencing your presence, gratitude is there. It just is. And peace is a consequence. Really important key to that bliss, that never-ending bliss I was describing to Phil. Number 3, when you are in gratitude, you attract more to be grateful for. Number 4, gratitude opens the door to limitless possibilities. Now, how does gratitude open the door to limitless possibilities? You know, when a child is born, when we take birth in this human form, we are limitless. And that's because we are plugged into us as a soul being. A soul is limitless. When you engage in gratitude, when you do gratitude, when you fill your presence with gratitude, you are in peace. And you are stationed in whole and complete. And that is opening the doorway to limitless possibilities. Gratitude is the secret sauce for exquisite, enchanting relationships. I just love the sauce part. Gratitude is the secret sauce for exquisite, enchanting relationship. It's at that time of the year where we make all sorts of sauce, you know, the brandy butter sauce, the cranberry sauce, the mint sauce, all sorts of sauces. Just flush it with gratitude. Gratitude provides the flair for romance. When you are in gratitude, what is romance? Romance really is a choice, it's a lifestyle of aliveness. And gratitude provides that flair for romance. Number 7, gratitude is the celebration of life. So life is a state. It's a state where an organism is breathing. What's there to celebrate about that? Well, what's there to celebrate is when you start noticing all those amazing magical moments that are making your heart sing. What's there right now? The fact that we are all here together, the fact that we're choosing to have this amazing discussion as you go into your gratitude, into your Thanksgiving dinner or Thanksgiving dessert or Thanksgiving nightcap, as we prepare to enter the most profound, amazing holiday period ever. It truly is going to be holy days where you are the Holy One that you will pray to and be grateful for. because you're the one that makes everything accessible and available to you. There is nobody else that does that. And that's a celebration of life. And what happens when you start celebrating this state of life? Gratitude jumpstarts aliveness. I love the jumpstart part, having been in cars where I've had to jumpstart a few times. It's like dead, and then boom, off you go. Gratitude is the jumpstart. And what an exquisite jumpstart that you're not dependent on anybody else. You can be on the top of your toilet seat and jumpstart aliveness. You can be anywhere and jumpstart aliveness. This reminds me of a story of this amazing man I met in Maui. I was doing one of my salons, and he came to that salon. To me, he looked like he was in his mid-60s. He was 94 years old. And he was put in that isolation jail for 36 years by the Mao regime in China. So, and he says the only time there was any light that ever came in was when this hand came in with congee, which was the food that he was given. And it will only be those little specks of light. I asked him, what were the first words you said when you came out 36 years later? And he said he could not stand straight because, it was a very confined cell. So he was like completely bent over when he came out. And he said, the first word I said was, oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm like, wow, what were you thanking? Who were you thanking? What was that about? And he said, I could hear the birds. I could hear the rustle of the leaves. I could hear all this collection of variety of sounds. I had all these feelings. Somewhere there was moisture. Somewhere I felt my lips were chapped, and I could see the sun. And I could hear voices of other humans. I was so thankful. There was so much richness in this world that continued despite where I was. This guy in the cell, I Ching is a particular, philosophy that has been used by the Western world. He was one of the first ones to take the ancient I Ching, and he did that in the 36 years in jail and made it accessible for normal people to also use the I Ching methodology. And since then, it has been translated many times. Gratitude jumpstarts aliveness. And then I said, then what happened? I was so taken by it. Then I stood up and I was tall. And I learned to walk again, he said. Gratitude jumpstarts aliveness. Gratitude is always a conscious choice. Nobody can give it to you. Nobody can take it away from you. So many of you know here about my stand for dignity and the World Dignity Movement that we seeded in the City of Angels. That is all about honoring your own worthiness. And we forget it. That's what shakes dignity. It takes it, it never goes away. It's always there. The moment you exercise gratitude as a conscious choice, you bring that remembrance of dignity back with a click of a finger, blink of an eye. 10, there is always something you can be grateful for in any situation. Our 94-year-old I Ching master. There is always something you can be grateful for in any situation. Choose to exercise your choice. Choose the choice of gratitude. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone. I'm going to now just reach out to each one of you and share what's coming through. So we'll begin with you, Justin. Okay, so Justin, this is divine grace sharing what they are grateful for in your being. The gratitude that is being expressed to you, Justin, is the gratitude of your undivided attention when you choose to presence yourself. This is a very unique quality and a very unique gift. So keep practicing it consciously as a matter of choice because it comes naturally to you. Your undivided attention to your presence. And when you are presenting yourself or presencing yourself with that undivided attention, you give that undivided attention to the detail of whatever it is that you're engaged in. Foundational to what will constitute a regenerative access to success for you as you move forward. Thank you for being you, and thank you for being here in my life, in our world. Tejasvi, you are presencing divine grace in every step you take, in every breath you take, every choice you make. And know that when you allow other people's doubts to come in, you do not take your attention away from the choice you have made. You have just chosen to give attention to their doubt. And that causes delay in your path. So receive from this whatever shows up for you. Continue being this amazing presence, amazing divine grace that you are in every step you take, every breath you take, every choice you make. Rupa, this deep sense of gratitude for your unquestioning embracing of the art of allowing. Now, it may feel that in certain parts of your life, you haven't done that. And the fact that you have still continued to do and spread the divinity of you shows that you have even practiced the art of allowing in that space. Art of allowing is the one that gave me access to my own personal awakenings. It's a very, very powerful and a very unique mastery. So you're being acknowledged for your resilient practice of the art of allowing. Thank you for anchoring that. And I know that you speak to so many hundreds of people listen to you every week in different parts of the world. So with you and your practice of the art of allowing, you're actually bringing, like an unshackling experience. So people who listen to you in their own way start to feel unshackled. So thank you for that. Asha. The thanks that is being given to you is for your devotion and your dedication to the cause of humaneness in humanity, within humanity. So thank you for being such a stand. Renelle, the thanks that is being given to you is for your unique brand of openness and your unique ability to assimilate the wisdom that you receive to be able to generate your own. Use 2021 as a year when you literally start sharing that assimilated wisdom, applying that your own unique alchemy to it. So you're being thanked and acknowledged as an alchemist of wisdom. Thank you. Danette, deep gratitude and thanks is being expressed to you for your love and caring, for your family spirit, and for your spiritedness that has been unwavering and unshakable through all of your life's experiences. Thank you for all of that love and caring that you continue to share. And, we are witness to that. Deep acknowledgement from Spirit to you also. Phyllis, the thanks that is being given to you is a heartfelt thanks. And literally just if you close your eyes, you will hear the tones of all of the singing bowls that you have and all of the singing bowls you have ever possessed. And the thanks that is being given to you is a thank you for very deep-seated healing. You have been relentless healer of nanocellular system of humans. So at a conscious level, it may not even register with people that they have been healed. They feel good, but your healing actually goes deep at a nanocellular level. Receive yourself as the depth of healer that you are. And thank you for showing up in that way. Stephen, you know who I have here with me. You met him yesterday when we did the journey. It is Bucky Fuller. You're being acknowledged for being the right arm of Bucky Fuller. And it's Bucky Fuller's vision. There was only a sliver of it that he shared with the world, Stephen. And that in itself was so profound. And you're one of the few people that had the opportunity to be in his presence at a time when he was considering sharing the fullness of the vision. So you're being thanked for receiving it all at a cellular level. And for allowing yourself from time to time to put yourself in a state where that could reveal itself to you. 2021 is your year. Keep flowing in flow and the fullness of that vision will be realized. You're being thanked for choosing to be the right arm and hanging in there, anchoring and expressing, and now you are being fully supported to realize the full extent of this vision that was received. Thank you. Nancy, you're being thanked for being a bridge between cultures. You have this unique ability, despite all the craziness of any particular culture, you're able to pick the juiciest essence of it, and you're able to bridge it. You've had majestic ancestry over many, many lifetimes. You have experienced royalty from so many different parts of the world through many of your lifetimes. All of that is coming together to support you to bring about this bridging of cultures. So you're being thanked for that. And just know that the realization of what you have anchored has only just begun, and you're here for a long time yet to experience the fruits of your realization. Thank you. Ellen, you're being thanked for consciously choosing aliveness, even at times where it felt like no one could possibly survive that. So you're being thanked for that aliveness, choosing aliveness, and being relentless at that.
Yeah. You want to say something?
Bill?
Yes.
You're being thanked for allowing the gift of restructuring the spine of humans. So whilst you physically express that in your profession, but you really were supporting humans to get their spine back. And you were beaten down to such an extent that at some point you lost your spine. But you're being thanked for that gift that you have, and for using your hands to bring the integrity of the spine back for humans. So thank you. Just allow yourself to give that gift to you this Thanksgiving and during the holiday period. Mary, you're being thanked. The gut is the custodian of our inner wisdom, the wisdom that we have amassed through the many, many journeys of our soul. The gut is the custodian of that. And you are being thanked for seeing it in its wholeness and working with it in such a way that it has brought about transmutations in the lives of every person that you have worked on, worked with, educated. You're being thanked for holding the flame of being like the steward of the gut wisdom for all of humanity, even when your hands were burning with the flame. You held on to it. Deep sense of gratitude, Mary, for you, for doing that. Allow yourself to receive it. Sean. You're being thanked for holding the truth of the secret of the Holy Grail and expressing it in such a vivid way through music, not knowing why you did what you did, but keeping that trust going, even when your fingers had found it difficult to play on the piano and all of that. It was really because you were holding on to that purity of the secret of the Holy Grail being expressed. There is nothing religious about the Holy Grail. It really is about the true essence of being human, which is love. Elixir in the Holy Grail is the elixir of our human vibe, which is love. So you're being thanked for holding that secret and expressing it so beautifully that it touches, moves, inspires, uplifts, anchors people, opens them up to all of their senses so they experience the fullness of the emotions that we have access to being human. Thank you, Sean. Pankaj, you're being thanked for keeping the belief in the leader that you are. And even though it felt like you didn't know how, the fact that you kept that belief in your own unique leadership abilities, you have maintained a childlike wonder quality in you, which enables you to learn from anyone. It could be a tiny little child. It could be, the maid that comes and works in your house. It could be the prime minister. It could be your wife. It could be the art that your wife has created. It could be, the products that are being produced by your organization. A powerful leader is a leader that takes the leadership in their own development, in their own evolution, and they learn. And they're not afraid to admit failure, so it's your belief in you as a leader is what you're being thanked for. Thank you. Sarah, you're being thanked for your stubbornness in taking a stand to bring an end to poverty. Even though circumstances were not conducive to you remaining standing in that space, even though people closest to you did not believe that was possible, you took a stand for that. And poverty, this is the piece that you are to take on in 2021. It isn't just about material poverty. It also is about emotional poverty. Also mental, lack of spiritedness. So just allow yourself to receive this, you taking the stand for bringing an end to poverty that you have held on to so stubbornly. You're being thanked for that. What does that look like in the fullness of what's available to this planet? Use this holiday period, starting today, for that to be revealed to you. Helene and David, you're being thanked, first of all, for finding each other, for recognizing each other, for allowing yourself to come together as one. And it is in that allowing of you to come together as one that you gave birth to think positive. Really think positive it's only just been birthed. Everything that you have done so far was preparing the world for living a positively enriched life. So thank you. Cheryl? You're being thanked for protecting that deep-seated desire that you have of lifting this world from darkness. That's taken you into various forays with saboteur energies and also sometimes put you right in the center of darkness. But the fact that you've held on to that, bringing the world into the light, this is your time. It's time to show up for you. And it is showtime. Linda? You're being thanked for the genuine qualities of the celebrity. Like holding true to the genuine qualities of the celebrity. What you did, how you did it, how you chose to express it has been foundational to many new celebrities. Fearlessly stepping forward and sharing what they stand for, bringing greater meaning to their life, and in doing so, bringing more meaning into the world. You like the grandmother and the mother and a friend for anchoring this in, the celebrity realm. So thank you. And showtime continues, Linda. Embrace the vitality and the youthfulness of your vibrational age, which is 22. Tokes. This Thanksgiving Day, you're being thanked for the spiritedness with which you choose to share your wisdom. The spiritedness with which you continue to remain connected to your guides and your guardian angels, allowing them to work through you in such a magical way. You're being thanked for the strength that you embody to recognize in yourself when you are in flow. And because of that, you have this unique gift of recognizing what is missing for the people that you work with that will bring them back into flow. Thank you, Tokes. I'm so grateful for you sharing your gift with me. I feel so blessed. I also express my thanks for a time when you worked with my son. And that was the first experience I had of soul retrieval. This child whose soul had fragmented because of experimenting with drugs, retrieved his entire soul and fully recovered from a psychosis because all of him was in. And that journey began with you. And you did it in such a playful way and a deep, profound way that this 15-year-old was willing to go along with it. You're being thanked for that, Tokes. I know it's 2:30 in the morning. So grateful you're here. Vince, you're being thanked for your resilience, Vince, for that deep-seated joy that you hold within you, that your dear friends, in the dogs that you play with, they know, they recognize, they relate to that joy which you've held in that indestructible black box with resilience. And I have done about 3 sessions with you. Remember, I talked about your ancestry that I needed to work through, and it was 2 very specific parts from Germany that were very anchored. One was the very creative side that came from Bavaria. Another came from this crazy town. I have the name, but I can't remember it now. I will share that with you. And it took 3 sessions to actually release all of that. So this Thanksgiving, and by declaring this thank you for keeping that joy intact, you can actually open the black box yourself during these holidays. And just show up, Vince. I'm here for you to just support you. It'll literally be like the child learning to walk for the first time. You can open the box, and it is like it's like Jack in the Box. It'll open up, but you won't be able to shut it back again. And it's going to be the world where joy is your reality. Thank you. Karen, you're being thanked for allowing yourself to accept you in all your renditions. And I know there is this loudspeaker sound going on in the background and the birds. That's just aliveness. That's also India. But you're being thanked, Karen, for allowing yourself to experience all of you, even though some aspects of you might have caused some stress and anguish. The fact that you've allowed that to express itself is what you're being thanked for. You haven't shut it off. And as you step into 2021, flowing in flow, let's just really work through that. Get that flowing in flow to occur and have it become regenerative. But thank you for allowing that expression to take place. Acknowledge yourself for that. Connie, you're being thanked for the generosity of your spirit and the service that you have offered. And the diligence with which you offer service, be it at work, be it to your family, be it to your friends. You're being acknowledged and you're being thanked for that. Sonia, you're being thanked for, this is a surprise, and it's not a surprise. You're being thanked for the heart-opening experience that you brought into a strata of society which had found comfort in the stiff upper lip. It's no accident that you chose to do your medicine from Cambridge. It's taken its toll, Sonia. I know that. But that is what you have enabled, and you are being thanked for that. Allow yourself to receive it. That is an access way to really becoming unleashed and getting into a lightness of being, something that you have been craving for a long time. You're a natural lightness of being person. Breakfast is being prepared for the people that are going to be on the retreat. So, I believe that is everyone. And if there is someone who I haven't talked about, let me know. Is Mary Catherine with you, Stephen?
Yep, I'm here.
Okay, Mary Catherine. I could feel your energy. It is. You're being thanked, Mary Catherine, for anchoring elegance. Anchoring elegance in, and it's like the human vibe elegance that is accessible to everyone in any circumstance, wherever they are at, whatever they're engaged in. So a deep sense of gratitude and thanks is being expressed to you for anchoring elegance in such a way that it is accessible, available for all of us. I can think Mary Catherine and I'll feel elegant. All of you can just think Mary Catherine, and that elegance that has been anchored in you will just rise to the surface.
Mynoo, anything for me, Rupa here?
I did say to you that you're being thanked for the art of allowing, and I can talk to you more about that separately.
Okay,
Okay?
thank you.
You're so welcome. You're so welcome. I can barely see my screen, would you believe? There's so much light here.
Thank you, Mynoo.
You're so welcome. I always love to anchor the one word to complete our session. So please go ahead and put your words in the chat, in the WhatsApp Beyond Meditation group. If there's anything else that comes to you to express, please share it there. Thank you all. There we go. Tears are rolling from my eyes in gratitude. Till next Friday, you gave a mantra and to chant, to align gratitude. Thank you, Rupaji. This is great. Grace is there from the day I was born, and that is the reason I have the opportunity to be showered with wonderful, majestic angels like you. I am in gratitude, gratitude. Thank you, thank you. Thank you for giving enlightenment and building further confidence in myself. This is truly Thanksgiving session. Really, thank you. Wow. Thank you so much, Mynoo. Thank you for you with deep gratitude and love. Thank you to you. You know, again, remember, what we say to others, we say to ourselves. What we say to ourselves, we say to others. So the fact that you're expressing this to me, you're only able to do that because there is all of these things that you're thanking me for exist within you too. So I thank you for that, anchoring that. Enlightened, beyond grateful. Wow, that's great. Bliss and lightness. So much gratitude and love. Thank you. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Yes, there you go. We literally have brought in all that peace, peace, peace on the planet with this session on gratitude, focus, mastery, deep peace, joy. We are so grateful to have you in our lives, Mynoo. My God, can you imagine? I'm in total bliss and I'm sharing this back with you. Thank you so much. Gratitude, enlightened, light-hearted, deep peace indeed. Thank you. Gratitude. Thank you for your love, dedication to all of us, reminding us of how love lives inside of us. So true. Love the journey. Gratitude. And wow. Beautiful talks.
Well, looking for more joy in 21. Lots of joy and laughter and feeling the presence.
Wonderful, Ellen. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you, Mynoo, enlightening. Thank you. Gratitude. So honored to be a part of this group. I am so honored and privileged to be doing
Thank you
this
so
work with all
much.
of you. Enjoy your Thanksgiving togetherness, your meals, your dream time, and I look forward to seeing you on Saturday.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mynoo.
Bye.
Thank you, Mynoo.
Thank you, Mynoo. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Thank you.
Thank you,
Mynoo.
Nina. Thank you very much.
Namaste.
Thanksgiving.
Thank you, dear
Happy
one.
Thanksgiving.
Thank you. So grateful.
Thank you. Thanksgiving.
Thank you. Bye-bye.